the laptop charged?
What are you doing over here? 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 What are you doing over here, man? Oh my God! What is that? What is that? What is you doing over here? That is a dinner roll. That is a dinner roll.
Mute y'all thingy thing.
Niggas think about fucking with me, you better pray about it, nigga. No, what the fuck going on, nigga? OTM, nigga. I don't complain, I just pray about it. Go give me some money, don't pray about it. You broken, you bummy, boy, pray about it. Yo, bitch, you wanna fuck me, just pray about it. Don't try me as nothing, boy, pray about it.
Don't let me share the spring live. Hey, hey y'all, we shouting out OTM busting. You can't hear it? Y'all can't hear it? No?
Yeah, we can hear it.
It's faint. It wasn't like it was before.
You can hear it? Why can't y'all hear it?
We can hear it, it's just faint.
Mary, is y'all watching the chat? Mary say hey.
Hey.
You hear this music, Mary? What?
Wait, Miss Jocelyn didn't get on yet.
I can't, okay, there we go.
I'm gonna play it again. Why can't you hear it? She said it's low. I don't think my mic is working. I'm gonna have to take a break, get it together. Wow.
Your mic is working fine. Whatever you put, your mic is working fine. Whatever you playing,
got it all the way up. Is that better?
Sorry about that. I'm trying to get my
Is that better, Barry?
Trying to get my laptop.
Or is this a speaker? Is that good? Or work? You can't hear it? I should keep saying no.
Miss Jocelyn, I see you now.
We like to play it again.
Play it again. Play it again. From the top.
We like to play it again. All right, y'all. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Good
evening. Here.
Happy International Women's Day to all you beautiful queens.
You too.
Oh, it is Women's Day.
Thank you, Sylvie.
I got on a black dress today, bitch.
Okay.
All right, well, y'all welcome whoever is tuning in to the Cover Brand presents LadyTales. We're gonna have to play that music again. We are trying to spotlight OTM Bussin', who is off the chain. Follow him on YouTube.
Period.
We'll put the link in the chat, and we will definitely play him again. Trying to get his video played, but I guess I can't share my screen on live, but I'll keep looking. All right, so Tania, do you have, first of all, we got to introduce ourselves. So I'm Tia, CEO of the Cover Brand, and this is the team. We got our special guest, Miss Aqualenna, back. We got a lot in store for y'all and more to come. So introduce yourselves.
I'll go next. I'm Tania. I'm the resident nutritionalist, a little bit of comedy in there, just some information I'll give you from time to time. That's me, Tania. So I am.
Okay, and I'm of course Yukila, her big sister with the opinions always.
Sylvia, just your everyday woman, you know, just putting my input on how I feel, because, you know, we all don't feel the same. So.
Sure.
My name is Jocelyn, I'm a clinical mental health professional. Just add my little 2 cents in there, you know, a little change.
And I'm Aqualenna. I'm the guest. I am the ambassador, though, of Black history, thought, and heritage. Kicking it with you.
Amen. Did you go already, Tania?
No, I'm gonna go ahead tonight, now that everybody's introduced, and
Okay.
just set the tone for what we gonna discuss tonight, and just what Lady Tales is about. So our mission statement, the LadyTales team will share past and present experiences with female friendships on a journey to clarity on how we can make new connections in business and navigate current female relationships to hopefully avoid the catfight. All right, we're gonna build something together with expertise from partners and special guests. We will explore triggers from a mental health perspective and explore how nutrition and laughter play into good health and healing. That's what our mission statement is. So as we have our discussions, and tonight we're going to be talking about, what we're talking about, frenemies and bullying, Tia?
Enemies, bullies. Thank you, yes.
With the end result of how to resolve those things, you know? We have the history, Aqualenna's going to give us history, Johnson's going to help us navigate through. Yukila and Sylvia are going to talk about it, their 2 cents. And then I don't know. I'll see what I'll do at the end.
You're gonna give us some nutrition and always keep us with the comedy. So I guess we'll start. This subject came about because we talked about bitch, right? But then I was trying to think about, like, when did the divide start? You know, what was the first interaction that you had with another Black woman that made you feel like you being bullied, or she being mean for no reason, or, you know, you don't really want to mess with her no more? Because ultimately we are trying to get past all the mess, work together, build together, share our resources and knowledge, because we all know we the shit, the hidden figures, and we can do all things. So that's what I'm trying to work on. So tonight, what was the first time that y'all, you know, was either bullied or felt like, damn, was she, yo, bitch?
So I'll jump in feet first. I'll say for me, one of the ones that I think has value for this episode is when I came from Detroit to work with a charter school in Pontiac. And it's always more heart-wrenching when it's another Black woman. When you come to, like, help you, I'm coming to help you save your job, right? To keep the school from getting their charter taken. But I get the pushback like I'm invading your queendom. You know what I mean? And that's not even my personality.
Yeah.
But just having to have to go to the principal and you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to hear my side for whatever reason, you feel some kind of way. But like we talked about before, either not having the emotional language or not wanting to use it to clear the air, right? To kind of like come to an understanding of, okay, this is how I feel. Even if you're territorial, instead of making the person feel like an outsider and creating this insurmountable space that we can't come together as Black women, you create this unhealthiness, and that can be a form of emotional bullying, right? It's kind of like, if I don't do what you want me to do or be who you want me to be, or if you say I'm the office manager, now you got to bow down to me. I'm like, listen, I'm coming to save your job. You're not really doing nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't say that out loud, but that's the reality, but you still kind of like want to say, I'm the office manager, this is my space. And so even that professional bullying, that emotional bullying, if the person won't let you in, what are you supposed to do? You know, so then you have to kind of like, I got to go be your head, but I really don't want to go be your head because I would rather us work together to be in this space. But now you are creating a situation where I have to, you know what I mean? Kind of like be that bee, if you will, because you won't just let us be who we need to be. So in the end, the whole situation kind of like went downhill because the principal like stabbed me in the back after I saved their charter. And she a Black woman too.
That's a perfect,
Always tough.
Her Miss Jocelyn's story is perfect. Your testimonial in that is a perfect segue into how this attaches to itself, or how this attaches itself to us as Black women historically, and that is attached. It's attached through slavery and through caste, which is established societal norms. There are certain conditions that were attached to women that looked a certain way and where they performed their duties and tasks, and then those that were treated differently or better, typically those that were darker and light. We all understand the divide with lighter and darker skin, but that thing has perpetuated itself, and it's a malignancy. It really is in present day. Those things that we attach to what is better and what's good, we still attach now to performance, like the situation with Miss Jocelyn is speaking of, where that sister attaches approval and acceptability with how she performs in a certain capacity. And still her performance standards have to look like a certain thing for her to think she's doing something. Jocelyn directly challenged that. She directly challenged whatever territory this woman had marked out for herself, whatever she had already earmarked as her space to operate in, what she flowed for. But to be a articulate way to Jocelyn, who wasn't trying to threaten but trying to help. That's a lot of what we don't see. We don't see each other in a humane way because we have been conditioned to see each other as a threat or competition. We're jockeying for position instead of looking for community. Yeah, we jockeying for position instead of trying to get on an even keel. Because
and that's what's sad, because the next woman got what you missing. Work together.
But that's something that's so deeply ingrained that we have to take a more active role in breaking down those things that have been set up societally, those structures that are they're in place. They've been in place for, we're looking at now almost a half a millennium, which is crazy. I mean, they've been in place for that long. And so to reconstruct your condition and how you think about a thing or how it came to you first, that's a lot of work. And it's a lot of work right now in this culture of instant gratification. People ain't willing to do that. They're not willing to spend no time on that. It's sad, but it's true. People like Jocelyn are a jewel to an environment like that to try and help you sustain your
really the
finance,
best CEOs and supervisors. And I don't mean to cut you off, but the best CEOs and supervisors would welcome new knowledge and want to.
That's
know
why she
what
was brought in. But that's why she was brought. But apparently that staff they probably were already on points because they thought that their livelihood is being threatened. You got to look at the realities of the situation. They may lose money. They may not have a job. All of those things are at the bit instead of them being able to see what she can help with. They talking about, it's kill or be killed in that situation. And they probably, the administration probably could have handled that better and tried to, let them know what's actually trying to be accomplished instead of putting them here. You talk to her and see what you can figure out. That's not professional. So she was put out there, what it looks like, and it was all Black women. Unfortunately, the principal, the administrator, and then where she comes as a staff trying to soothe the situation.
Maybe that's the thing. I work somewhere with Black director, Black supervisors, Black, and maybe it's my fault for thinking they would relate in a different way, you know? So I don't know, because it really hurt when it comes from
it's not a fault necessarily. I just think it's genuine to try and assume. You would assume, I mean, from where I come from, and I don't have any pretense of motives. But everyone doesn't operate that way. You don't know what people are trying to protect or and we are so guarded. We are, Black women particularly, we don't know. It takes us a while to know what we got to protect from another Black woman. We have to, how much of you I can give me, how much of me I can give to you. Because it's a vulnerability issue with Black women. We are constantly being assailed in all different ways. So it becomes a matter of protection. And I think that more than anything, the sister just felt like, I need to put up my dukes. I don't know about to come. I don't know if you're trying to take my job. I don't know if you on the up and up, but I really don't have time to find out. So
if you're doing your job right, you shouldn't worry about that though. That's the problem. Too many insecure. I'm trying not to use the word too much on this episode.
They weren't. And
Right.
It seems like sometimes it seems like instead of, like I was saying, instead of making it seem like it's only one position and you got to fight for it, it seemed like we would work together and, make it where we'll be pulling each other in instead of acting like it's only enough room at the top for one or two people.
I think it's like Aquafina said. It's like that the historical precedent of being pitted against each other, right? You have the house slaves, you got the field slaves, you got the lighter skin, you have the darker skin, right? And then you have those who are a product of the slave and the slave owner, right? So that's another segment of the people, right? And so you have all of these dynamics and everyone trying to keep who they are in the midst of society telling you who you have to be accepted, right? And so if that has been 400 plus years of ingrained behavior, even in 2022, how do we go from that to recognizing and acting on it, knowing that we have to make a change to be better and to heal? Because saying I need to change is more easier than actually changing.
You know what's difficult, but what I had to choose. I mean, you got to make a choice. Anything that is going to good, if any good is going to come of it, it's going to be difficult.
Right.
And I have determined to be the change that I want to see. Now I have my bad days now, because some days, sisters, get on my nerves.
Motherfucking nerves.
Honestly,
say it.
Sometimes I just can't deal with the apathy, the venom, and the lack of wanting to introduce new thoughts. Think about some different way. It don't have to be the way your mama, auntie, sister, friends used to think. You can think outside the box, but we're so conditioning to pack thinking and jockeying for position and assigning.
I understand the scarcity, and we gotta get ours and all that, but you would think that George Floyd
that's not scarce.
Us together somehow.
It's not scarce.
I mean,
it's not scarce.
When is there gonna be a moment
for
us to?
They've been killing niggas for years.
Together,
That is not, George Floyd is not an anomaly. It's just the situation that they had to pay attention, because that girl had so much. They had to pay attention. And they still didn't pay as much attention as they should have, but they had to. But the reality is they've been killing us that way for centuries, without recompense, without conscious, without. It's a trend. It was something to hang on to. We're in a pandemic, and nobody had anything else to do.
But just a little bit, because we got other episodes.
Yeah, to go into that.
This all goes
I
so
want
deep.
to make sure we focus on that when it's time. So let's try to, because I know you got the goods on it, and you, girl, you ready,
Well,
already
before-
ready. But go ahead,
Okay, so
Sylvia.
we do
Let's
need
try
to.
to
That's
focus
just always.
on bullying. And we need to talk about, we all got, well, me and you got a common bully. So let's we gonna have that experience. So go ahead, Sylvia.
I really don't feel like I'm bullied too much, just because I really have thick skin, and I could let stuff go because it's either like 0 to 100 for me. And I
See,
feel like a
crazy
lot of
one.
people feel like because I'm light skinned, it's like a light skin privilege. So like the darker females like to pick on me, like, oh, because you're light skinned or just stuff like that. And that really bothers me.
Yeah.
But I'm always very open about what I speak about. So I'll just nip it in the bud and then call it a day. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the bullying, I probably have been a bully to a few coworkers, not on purpose, but it's just because I'm direct. I noticed like down south, the women are a little more timid, like, so my bluntness is like, it comes off offensive sometimes.
Yes. Down here, yeah.
Yeah.
When I thought of the question, because you said the first time, and I had to think like, what was I bullied? Because of my stature, I kind of wasn't bullied, but somebody brought up their mom being like a bully before. And I said, my aunt was my first bully.
Wow.
And and she is today. I am 51, and it took me till I was 45.
Wow.
Back away from that, because you know how when you get around your family, you turn back into who they are.
Exactly.
And I was watching our sister today, and she dropped the nugget. She dropped the nugget. Said, when you go to your family, you show up. The way you show up is how they treat you. Like you could be. So I'm this person and that person at work. Nobody bully me at work because nobody bully me at the schoolhouse. And nobody bully me in my family, but that little but her.
Yeah.
And so it started when we were young, and I think it's because to me, I take the stance that I don't think I think certain people are innately evil, the ones who control the system and all that. I think, that's the whole other thing, whole other stuff. But I think that every time somebody behaves a certain way, there's something behind it. As in a discussion that I guess we're gonna bring up a little later. So as I reflect back, she was the only child for so long, the baby girl that was privileged. And then here come her big sisters having babies. Man, we would be on the street. That's my aunt. I love her. We went to the same camp. She was a counselor. She picked on us worse than the kids that got there. And so growing up, I was just so intimidated by her. We're only like 7 years apart, and I was so intimidated by her. Then she would help me like family-wise, and then her help would be, I got to a point like at 35 to stop asking her for help, because then she would want to it was like a condition. It was conditioned, and as I'm sitting, I'm like, Dad, Sheila was my first book. I love her now because I had to rework all that. We used to live with her. My mom had mental illness, like I didn't realize till later on. And then her younger sister did too. I mean, her other older sister did too. So she had us. She took us all in, really. When I think back, she was like 25 or 24 when she did that. Took her big sister kids in. So then she was treating us like mad because she was doing that. And so instead of saying, Tania, would you iron my shirt for me? I would have done it. I'm like, iron this, cook that. It's just bully. So sometimes I say all that to say is right in your family, in a family dynamic, and you don't look at it as a bully, just that mean old auntie or that old cousin, but that's a bully. And then it does kind of relate to how you, and I never had sisters or anything like that. I was the oldest one too. So I was always in charge, but she was in charge of me. You better believe that. Yeah, that was my bully. When thinking about that question, it's still now, I love her, but I know how to handle her because now I understand why she might have behaved that way to me. And I'm just that compassionate person, or that type of person.
Absolutely.
Go, through and work it out, work the wounds out and all that. So I can deal with her on a different level. So
You correct that most people that are nasty are hurting. They're painful, catty, chatty, insecure. So, you know, we have to learn how to navigate them.
Yeah, I navigate like the mission, like keeping in mind the mission statement. I know how to navigate.
Yeah, yeah. Keela, did you say anything?
No, I haven't said anything.
Well, we all know you was never bullied, but when did you ever get
right
nasty to you, or just, you know, I know you had some hate, and you wasn't walking around in that bodysuit was sexy on the side of your head, and then nobody hate on you. Give us a story.
I think it wasn't too many women that was willing. If they had something to say, it was behind my back. I wasn't the one to play with. Still to this day, I'm not the one to play with. I don't
jumped on your back. I remember somebody tried you and jumped on your back, and you grabbed both arms and slammed her ass over your head.
I don't know, but I don't give the vibes that I'm the one to play with. So I would say, I guess it wasn't quite being bullied, but since I was quiet in school, I had this female that I was listening to them talk. And it was because they were so loud, you know, and I'm sitting across the table from them. Yeah. And they were actually real loud. So I'm in the conversation. I'm just looking. And one of them was like, dang, you want to see my tonsils? And I'm looking like, bitch, you don't play with me.
Don't do it.
Right. But she just loud and she actually turned out to be my sister-in-law.
Wow. That was Tasha. Lord, I know she was loud, and you probably could see her goddamn tonsils.
Right.
Wow. Since we talking about Tasha and friends and family, go ahead, Aqualenna. What bully we got in common?
Oh, girl, Moosey.
Y'all know Moosey, whoever owns. Tammy.
Yeah, we ain't gotta call her by name. Y'all know who Moosey is. You know.
Everybody had to beat up Moosey.
Or run from Moosey, or pop Moosey and run, because that's what I did. Took off. She hit me first, though. She swung first. So Mama told me it was okay.
Talk me into fighting with her. Tammy Young,
you know, that's
me all up. She like, I thought you said you was gonna hit her, you know.
Yeah. That's another example of a hurting
like,
person with a hurting environment.
You know, we going around in a circle like we used to do. And Tammy Young, like, I thought you said you was gonna hit her, Tia, you know. So shit, I couldn't hold out, right? So I backed up, I punched her. She put her head down, started windmilling. I was sitting there looking at her like, okay, I don't know what the fuck to do next. Shit. So then I grabbed her, and then we fell. Then she fell on me. So Mary, my little feisty little sister, came up behind her. I don't know what she was doing, digging her eyes. She was doing something. She was on her. And then her brother came and got Mary off or whatever. But I bit her. I don't know if I bit her in the stomach or I started to, or I wish I had. Because I remember, you know, it was some body there that I could have really. But yeah, she got into a fight with everybody.
You know, that's like there's another example, somebody who had some other stuff going on, you know. That was how that thing manifested, because what was going on at home was, you know, heavy. I don't know what that's like to bring all of that to school every day. You know what I mean? All of the situation
and that's the
in their
empathy
home.
we need for each other.
Yeah. We have to, because so many Black women are coming from situations that we ought not have ever been in. You know, dealing with trauma that we ought not have ever seen. But we're conditioned to do that as well. You know, that thing accompanies the divide, which is the, you know, it's almost the majesty of being a Black woman that we can shoulder the type of dysfunction and malady that we do and still be regal, still show up, you understand, still show up as the best of ourselves when we, you know, when we got some ugly in tucked away places. You know, it's up to us though to help each other get out of those places and provide safe spaces for us to grow in, because we need growth. You know, we're stagnant in a lot of ways, emotionally anyway.
And we can do things. We Black women, we run the house, we the hidden figures. If we really was to connect our resources, we would take the fuck over.
We need to wait a minute. Tania, I hate I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You muted.
I'm mute because I tend to talk where everybody's talking with my little comments. I was saying we could win. I said we would win. We would just win. Yeah. We would win. Period.
Yes, as soon as we as Black women have a real, that's been the objective this whole time, is to keep us from connecting. That has been the objective the entire time. There is we are the mothers of this entire every nationality, ethnicity can find its roots in Black womanhood. You know, originally we need to claim our regality. We've allowed people to take things from us.
Regality, I like that.
It's not theirs to take. Those crowns are ours.
Exactly.
Just a little taste of next week. I ain't gonna give it away. I'm gonna post it, but we're gonna be hitting on that. You know, we're gonna be hitting on that, talking about, you know, African American women and how we relate, or how other Black women, maybe from Africa, Jamaica, you know, wherever. A little teaser, I was told by one of our guest members that we're going to have on next week that she was told at immigration not to mess with African Americans.
I try to tell you, I know these things.
I told you that. We were talking about that last week. I told you that.
I know these things.
They are told to not all the stay away from us. If they want to succeed in the United States, don't mess with the Blacks that come from there.
Wow.
Yep. And so that's what I was saying, that it'll be a good show. I would love to see, so that, because I had an intense conversation with a Black, but also like Indian, you know, just different. They are told that for, you know, reasons, disputable reasons, but yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Well, you know what, Sheila, I hear you, but a lot of that comes from our conditioning, our mindset. That's infectious. So they don't want that.
But it's also systematic. That is another layer of a system that wants to divide.
Well, that's what it sounds like to me. That's exactly what it sounds like to me.
Definitely.
We're talking about a series of shows here.
Like that's the whole
how that established itself in our psyche. That's a whole nother set of circumstances. Goodness gracious. We got some digging to do, y'all.
Right.
With digging comes healing.
Yes, it does.
We got a lot of comments in the chat, Sylvia. If you could go up to the top.
Now, you know, when I go to the top now, I'm going to be off of the screen because
you can't see it on here. If you can't see it on here, I'll do it.
I got them.
You should be able to see it. Hang on. It ain't on. It should be right on your screen.
I got them.
Keela got it. Get it, girl.
All right, Keela, what's going on?
We got a comment from Mary. Mary was saying that a Black woman told her supervisor that she walked like she didn't want to be there, I guess at work. And how do you walk like you don't want to be there?
Right. So messy.
Because you Black, you need to put pep in your step.
And that's terrible. That's terrible.
Them shoulders back. What's the problem? That is crazy.
Right. Let me see. And she was talking about when I was saying about how it seems like it's only room for a few at the top. And I think she's saying that that's how Black people feel, and they want to hold a position of power because you know they feel like it's only so many, you know, so much room at the top.
Yeah,
but you know, really, it's the thing about you're helping someone else make their wealth instead of investing in your own wealth and the wealth of your people.
True.
Because now it's sort of like you're going against who you are, but every day you're being what someone else wants you to be instead of who you want to be, and that divide of who you really are and what you think you should be to somebody else.
That's that programming. That's intentional. And we behave that way. We follow through.
Come on. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I heard somebody say one time, you know, this system is broken. No, actually, it's working fine. It's working perfectly.
Just the way they
working exactly how they designed it to work.
Exactly. We got to circumvent the circuitry. We got to get that together.
So when we bullying each other, perpetuating that same thing. When we, you know, the wounds and stuff are there. I was talking to Miss Jocelyn on the outside one time, very early on, and she said the wounds are we're not toxic to each other. We're wounded, and their wounds are infected. We got it's going to take a while when you know have an infected wound. You know, I mean that thing stuck with me, Miss Jocelyn. That's why I had to give you props before I said it, because I'm gonna say it. You know, you have to. This stuff you keep, sometimes you gotta dig, and you know, then we mess with it again. You know, we mess with it when instead of letting it try to even heal, we get that scab up, and that we in layers and layers, and we have these conversations. Like Aqualenna said, we in the second millennium. I thought about that today. We in like 2022. Martin Luther King started his journey, and he 50 years gone, and we still talking. We could talk today. Not the I have a dream thing, like I said, that they teach us, but the real about how the reason why we at work, females at work, or the corporate people at work fighting their, you know, stepping on each other's backs, is because they have us thinking there's not enough for everybody, because they won't give everybody enough, and they can't. They can't.
But that's why we need to make our own. We need to make our own. You know, y'all trying to fit into their corporations and just start making our own.
And like Dr. Vina said, you can't control the internet.
You can't burn down the digital technology.
Can't burn down technology.
This way, internet-wise, but still, we on a conversation about females. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We on a conversation about females bullying females, and there's a whole series that we're going to be talking about women not getting together. And this conversation not new, so we're not doing something right. We have to have a whole paradigm shift, because doing it's not, you know, we talk about it, you know, there's something there's something that and it's that infected wound, what's in there. We ain't get to, you know, House, remember House, that show House? And everybody thought they had to figure out the doctors, and then he gonna die in House. He can find that thing and cure it. We ain't gonna find it,
and we're starting with this.
We have to find that thing.
Because we are here to share your Black business, to support each other,
to
lift each other up, to share positive things, share new music. Like, that's what this platform is about. So anybody in this group who ain't about connecting and, you know, being down and supporting each other, like, that's what we here for. Share your Black business, send me your music, we gonna spotlight you. You know, I just got a love for Black women. I think because I was raised by a single Black mother. When I see a woman, I have love for them. But, you know, I do understand that some people are so wounded that I gotta back away, bitch, because I ain't no lion tamer. You know, and all of that. But I do want to say one thing I found today. This is by Cicely Tyson. And we're going to talk about it, because this is another aspect. It says, the moment anyone tries to demean or degrade you in any way, you have to know how great you are. Nobody would bother to beat you down if you were not a threat.
I know that's right.
So how many times have we been, you know, like y'all saying, in working environments or other, and it's like, I'm just showing up as me, bitch, and you in competition. First of all, if you in competition with me, you already lost. Because I ain't thinking about you, and I know who I am. You have no idea who you are. if you're competing with me. So talk about that. I mean, I think I got a few examples. Shit. Hell, I got one today at work, but I'm let y'all.
I have one today. That's funny.
But the thing about it is that women, okay, let's keep it concise. Black women have always, even back during slavery times, we had to play a role just to be able to get up every day and go through your day. Your children were taken from you. Now it's sort of like, you know, your husband got pimped out. You know what I mean? And so this knowledge that you don't have anything, you don't even have your own self because you were just a commodity, right? And so how do we make, like Aqualenna was saying, how do we make that shift from what has always been put on our backs and in our bodies and our DNA? How do we make that shift to say, okay, this is what it is, but it doesn't have to be, because this is not my reality today, because I don't accept this. I want to be a part of a sisterhood where we come together to have collective power so we can affect some lasting changes.
And that's sad, because there are sisterhoods like that and they're called sororities, but then guess what? Exclusivity happens in that. So they're their own thing and they won't come to, and even in that, the Deltas don't hook the Alphas, you know, and it's
That's
important that, you know, so it's just, I'm telling you, this stuff is deep, because we do have that. We do have the sisterhood, and then they become exclusive.
Yeah.
How do we go get,
there's
even possible for everybody to be on the same page?
There's even like an elite group of black people, like black people with money, and they only like marry in between each other. Like they don't let other black people in. I was watching that. I'm sorry, Nina.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm listening.
But did y'all see that? It was like, you know, elite black people who had money, and they were only, you know, marry amongst each other. And there was other black people complaining, like, y'all won't even let us in.
Well, that speaks to what I was speaking about caste. You know, it's the societal norms that were established. You don't got no money, you need to be with somebody who ain't got no money. You know, your people haven't been to college, or you people have been to college, you need to be with someone who has been to college. And we adopted what the dysfunction of the people who were supposed to be the founders of this country. We adopted that same dysfunction because that was the standard of normalcy, of excellence, of superiority. So how we gauge things, it's the same way. We have to change the metrics on our system. We've got to, but that comes with education. We have got to know what was done. A lot of times we can't get through the system. See, if you knew how bad they did us, this wouldn't even be a conversation we had to have. But because so many have no clue, have no idea how. When I say, I'm talking about when you take a woman like you breed a horse for the Kentucky Derby, those rich millionaires that breed, we were that. We were that. There are notes in accounting. She's a good breeder. Notify how you label somebody. She's a good breeder.
Wow.
You understand? We're talking about a woman, not a cow, not a horse, it was heartbreaking for me to hear that, but that was real. Yeah. We've been the only people treated like that. We have to take responsibility for educating ourselves as to what really happened, because they can tell you all kinds. There's real record. That's the beauty of the arrogance of this country, is that everything's down. You can go check it out. The Library of Congress got it on. You can go. You can look at these things. These things are real. These things are real. We can reconstruct this, but we got to do the work.
How do we get to because even reeling it back into us treating each other like that, knowing that or not knowing that part of history, and would it be important for us to know that we all come from the same, history of struggle in order to be able to relate to each other in a better way, so we don't have to do that no more? There really has to be a change. Would that be a start of a conversation? I
think so. I think
it would.
Yeah, get an understanding of your burden. You know, it's one thing to look at what your life is looking out from out here, from where I am, from my life. But we've got to become vulnerable enough to with one another to share our stories. I think
that's true.
Those stories are life-giving, you know, life-giving. Between Black women, some of the stories that, you know, I've shared with people that are very good friends of mine, those things have been, when I've been down, or they've given me life. They've helped me to just help me to know that I wasn't by myself.
Yeah.
Even encouraged me to look for a better way. You know, I didn't think a lot of Black women thought the way that I did, or moved around, wanted to move around the way that I had the same objective. But when you're vulnerable enough to share your story with someone or get into conversations, that's a risk you got to take, and it ain't gonna always turn out right.
Well, think about the
pain to be able to dismiss some of that,
y'all.
You know,
because when I look at it, I look at, if you put a group of people in a box and you limit the resources, and then you drop one piece of corner of a bread in there, they all gonna fight over it. So I just think that there's certain things we need to educate ourselves on and take responsibility, but we also need to open up our eyes to the systems that are in place to keep us divided.
Yeah.
You know, because it's natural to try to, you know, self-preserve. So it's like, if they're just, same thing with the managers, same thing with your girlfriend, you know, they trying to preserve. It's like we were made to believe there ain't enough because we didn't have the mindset to pool our resource. You take your $2, I take my $2, bitch, shit, we halfway up, you know? That's I think they used to do that, but then we got punished for doing that. But let's make sure that I just want to get that in, because that's how I see it. I see it as, if you limit where people can go, what they can move, what they can have, and then you take just certain ones out and say, okay, you light enough, so let me give you a little bit more, and then you throw a little crumb into the box that's left. I'm not a fighter, but I'm fighting somebody over that crumb, so I get it.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where, in a situation like that, like T was saying and like Aqualenna was saying, basically we have to climb out of the box, because once you climb out of the box, now you have a different perspective. You see that there's not just four walls, there's a whole world out there. And I think you ladies were talking about that last week, about women from different cultures, from the Caribbean, from Africa, who don't have that same boxed mentality. They actually have a world mentality, as you know, for comparison, right? So if we as Black women take on a world view instead of a box view, then we understand that the only lack is what we
perpetuate,
that we define for ourselves, right? I have this saying why I say the glass ceiling is now my floor, right?
I know that's right.
So what does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's
What does that
right.
mean to us, right? You know, and so taking the limits off of ourselves, because why do we think we have to be limited? Why? Why do we have to downplay our greatness just to make the people around us comfortable, even within our own families?
Y'all, we got 10 minutes.
Oh goodness, we is coming up on 10.
Yeah.
Tania, we need to have your nutritional information of the day, and then I'm gonna see if I can't play this music and shout out this business. Go ahead.
All right, I ain't gonna hold y'all long today. So we talked about avocado mask last week. Today is coconut oil. Do any of y'all use coconut oil?
Yes.
Have coconut oil, and y'all use it on your skin. What do you use it for? On your skin, elbows and stuff. That's the common thing, right? So remember I said stuff you could put on your skin, and guess what? You can eat it too. It's also good for oil pull. It helps with bad breath. It helps with mucousy mouth. Yeah, help with mucousy mouth. Like, you know how some people just have mouth because you know, if you drink milk, if you eat dairy products on a regular, you some phlegmy mouth, oil pull, perfect. If you have a toothache and you do the oil pull, and I have done these things, this is not Googling, this is actual practice. Yeah. So put it when I tried the first time, y'all, for real, just a teaspoon, a tablespoon, or I didn't even measure. It was like, you know, the big spoon, not the little one. And put it, I say tablespoon, and you scoop that and put it in your mouth, swish it. It's all gross. It's like, because you gotta do it for like for 12, 15 minutes. Don't like do it when you don't have anything else to do. When you spit it out and rinse out your mouth, and if you have a toothache or just, I do it once a month for, you know, your breath, keep it good. Yeah, you could swish around with it. You can eat it. You can eat it too, because it helps with your blood sugar levels. Eat it minimally because it helps with your, it helps with your good cholesterol to bring that up. Yeah, sometimes you have too much of it, it'll mess up your bad cholesterol. So, you know, do it if your doctor tomorrow says.
Would it help with the snatch? I don't need no help.
Yes,
but what
it helps shrink your
snatch?
belly. It does. It helps build up your metabolism. Thank you for saying that. That's right there. Stimulates metabolism. Yes, it does. And that's going to help, you know, that helps belly fat in general. Shrinking belly fat, I don't have it up there, but it provides antioxidants, will help you digest your food real good and helps you process the minerals that you do eat. Because I know everybody eat vitamins and minerals every day. Because I know you're eating greens every day, right? That's a whole other thing. But coconut oil, yes, coconut oil for your skin and elbows. I was hoping y'all said that, but take a spoonful of it for your internal temple. Yeah. That's it, Tia. See, I kept it short but sweet.
Thank you. And that was so informative. Like, needed it, wanted it.
And I'm compiling all of these. One day, I think, but hopefully when I get to Z, I'll be like, and go on Amazon and get my little, you know, ebook. You know, I'm compiling it as I speak. So, yeah, because we got to know. I love my people. We always talk about it, female relationships and da-da-da-da. And now he messed with my man, but nobody wants to talk about this temple. We could be alive. We could be as lovely as we are to each other, but if we did, we can't know, you know, so we got to keep our body right. We don't, you know, have heart attacks and stuff, we can't know. So, yeah, so I'm passionate about that, so.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Excellent, preach. So our business shout out, I'm sorry. I hope I ain't cut nobody off. Y'all can hear me. Our business shout out is Doris Spencer Shackelford. And so Doris is our Healing with Him sister. She was part of the Healing with Him team. As a matter of fact, she was the MC and she did amazing. But our sister Doris Spencer Shackelford, she has her own podcast, the Healing Hour podcast with Doris Speaks Life. If somebody could type that in, Doris Speaks Life airs Tuesday. Well, today was her first day airing, but she came on like 2 p.m. But she also has Instagram, Facebook. You can book like an appointment, you know, to speak with her because I think she's a motivational speaker and minister and life coach and all that. So, nice. Sister Doris.
I listened to her today.
Speak life into your life.
Tia, I listened to her today. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the quote that I said, the sister that said, you show up as your family. What I said, you show up how you show up your family. That was Doris. She said that. I listened to her podcast. That was her.
Wow.
That nugget from Doris. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Nice.
See what kind of nuggets y'all can get. Check our girl out.
Yep.
Also, Mary has.
All right, we got like 5 minutes. I got to get this song in too, but go ahead, Aqualenna.
No, that was Jocelyn.
Go ahead.
Let's see, Mary. If I can find it again. She had her. Mary Williams has Williams Demo and Cleaning LLC.
Hey, shout out Williams Demo and Cleaning.
Congratulations. Yes, post that. Yeah, congratulations, Doris, and congratulations, Mary. Let's congratulate me because it's a big feat to get their business off the ground. I just thought about, yeah, that's what we're going. Congratulations. How about that?
Yes, yes, share y'all businesses. Even if you don't have a Black business, share your family Black business. That's what we all about. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
shop,
She
support.
said clearing, not cleaning. I'm visually challenged, so I apologize.
All right.
Clear.
All right, so we got about 4 minutes. I'm gonna try to play. We are spotlighting OTM Bussin' and his music, new artist OTM Bussin'. Go follow him on YouTube. But playing it earlier, let me see if it will come through, and y'all shake your head. Let me know if you can hear it. Uh-oh. Is it? What happened? Darn it. Hang on. Ox. That's me, y'all. I don't know. Give me one moment. All right, here we go.
Oh my God.
Okay, can y'all hear that?
That is a dinner roll. That is a dinner roll. Black flag or nothing. Black flag. Nothing.
Yeah, that's real good.
Damn, fam, dog. Niggas think about fucking with me, you better pray about it, nigga. Know what the fuck going on, nigga? OTM, nigga. I don't complain, I just pray about it. Go give me some money, don't pray about it. You broken, you bummy, boy, pray about it. Your bitch wanna fuck you, just pray about it. Don't try me as nothing, boy, pray about it. When you so I love you, just pray about it.
Y'all see that?
Pray about it. If it's beefing, I'm busting no way around it. 230s, I'm chipping, I'm sipping from scriptures, so certainly I'm skipping before it. I'm from Atlanta, the dog in the street, niggas hate with their bitches, they love us. My man's gonna be stuffed with them hundreds, that cookie got me feeling sick to my stomach. What? I got it so good, my phone ring, waiting 300. They chop on the ass, and quarters in hands, and switch was on the salsa hustling. I come from a family of hustling, shout out to my little bro, he ain't running shit. Two times I did some other shit, bro. They trying to fuck up bitch, man. I can't get over that head, piece of shit, be a family, but I know who you fucking with. I stay dripping sauce, and I never gone just a kid, and ate my dick with a you know, wait, my little brother got killed. A couple days later, that's what they tell her now. I never let his name die. That's why I scream, R.I.P. talking every song. Roger Seppies with the belly on. What? Drink a rummy, bitch, you better go. Some bullets, they die, and whole niggas die. Mama, baby, is forever gone. Swallow your pride, it's easy to die. And he's out there, catch a gun, bro. I be so high, up in the sky. Feeling like I ain't never high. She said I'm not lying, bro. Let's take a ride. Swerving that shit that I'm stepping on. What? Pray about it. Go give me some money, don't pray about it. You broken, you dummy, boy, pray about it. Your bitch wanna fuck me, just pray about it. Don't try me as nothing, boy, pray about it. When you so unlucky, just pray about it. I ain't with all the tussling, pray about it. If it's beefing, I'm busting the way around it. Don't finna fuck with it, I just love hustling, nigga. I'm living and loving it. We clutching and hollers, we stuffing it. Burgers too close and I'm buffing it. Real bottoms and Versace running. She better come get your dick before we running. Hey! Summer. Bottoms can click in this Hummer. So suck on my dick while I'm thumbing. This service I do what I'm shit, you know I'm a stunner. You know I'm a punter. Look up on my gun to you niggas. Your nigga kill me, you ain't going for your nigga. Touch one of mine, you be down. Like nigga. Be a lot of crying, chicken fry, my nigga. What? You shaking on side of your niggas. See, I be outside with some killers. I grew up middle plus I ride with the killers. Quit playing, I ain't riding no killers. You a host, stop lying to your niggas. Country like you know MLK. You started crying, a nigga. I don't pray about it. Go give me some money, don't pray about it. You broken, you dummy, boy, pray about it. Your bitch wanna fuck me, just pray about it. Don't try me as nothing, boy, pray about it. When you so unlucky, just pray about it. I ain't with all the tussling, pray about it. If it's beefing, I'm busting. No way around it. Follow OTM Bussin' on YouTube for more. It is 8 o'clock. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are going to have a great discussion with some of our foreign sisters who came over here through immigration. They're going to tell us some secrets.
Come on now.
We're going to have a great conversation. We got our sister Sasha coming to see us next week. So tune in. I will put up a post. Share your business, share your music, and be blessed.
Yes.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
That was fun.
I
It's
like
always
that.
fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hang up?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to, girl. I don't even see my button.
They're gonna see our
Hang
after
on.
party. They're gonna be
Right.
Where's my button?
at the unwind. They're coming to the unwind too.
It'll say live on here.
Yeah.
I think my screen is live corner, but I'm still live. I think we're still
Hang
live.
on, there we go. Let me end this jab.
They got a little